G'day guys, Mark here and welcome to the Iron Empire. In this video, we're going to take a look at this supercharged 5-speed Fox body Mustang. Alright guys, so here we are back up in the Adelaide Hills at my place where we've got the Fox body. Now this thing has been kept under wraps for a little while purely because I haven't had time to address it, and I was still working out some plans of what I wanted to do with this car. But I'll give you the long version short. This was advertised through our good friends TUFF Mounts. If you haven't seen them already, you need to check out their Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Now TUFF Mounts make engine mounts and conversion kits and the likes of, and they in fact have their own Fox body Mustang known as Fox's Sake. Now that thing is a notchback and it is running a Barra, the famous Barra, and it's putting out some good times already. It's now on the road. Now this thing became surplus to the needs of the workshop down there, and it came up for sale on their Facebook page. So I seen it and I thought, I like that car. My subscribers are gonna like that car. I'm buying that car. I snapped it up. It was a total impulse buy, and you know what happens sometimes? You just gotta jump on these things. Now, in Australia, this is a pretty rare and sought after car in regards to muscle cars. There's not a lot of these things around. There's tons of them in the States and they are known for being used for racing. They're a great platform. People have done all sorts of conversions, big blocks, turbo Barras, even with a 5 litre in it, these things freaking get up and move. Particularly this one. This one has got a Vortex supercharger hanging off the side of the small block Windsor, and it is followed by a 5-speed manual. So yeah, she gets up and does the boogaloo. Now the reason I'm bringing you this video right now is that I feel like unfortunately I'm gonna get torn to shreds because I've already sold this car. Don't ridicule me too hard, please, guys, because sometimes we have to make some short-term sacrifices for long-term gain, which is obviously going to come out better in the long run for me and therefore the channel. So better for you guys to view in the future. But for now, we're going to have a look at the Fox body. That was almost a thing. All right, now going inside this car, we can see it is a pretty, well, now let's say it's a pretty 80s look in here, because although this is a 91, I believe, it's definitely not looking too 90s. It's pretty 80s in here. Now these Mustangs were actually brought out in 79, I believe, and I think they went through to 93. Don't quote me too hard, I'm not a pro, but I think that's what the Fox body did. Now the Fox body platform was also used with Mercury, and I think they also had a Thunderbird of the same era. These things are used so much in the States for racing, and you sort of know why. When you get behind the wheel of this thing, it actually feels a hell of a lot like, I'm going to say, a Jap import, but with American muscle. This thing has the feel of a Jap car, I guess, but just with roid range. But today we're just going to have a look around this car. It might be kind of boring because nothing's going to happen, but we can have a look and we can dream of what could have been. So inside you'll see it's actually pretty tidy in here. The driver's seat needs a bit of love, a bit of gap filling there in the dash maybe, but apart from that, it's all pretty solid in here and definitely workable. And one of the main things you guys probably would have noticed already, and noticed it really quickly, is that it has a very bad low prep American paint job. Now I'm not going to rag on Americans because they can do some good stuff, but they're also known to do some pretty quick stuff. And yeah, you don't see this too often here. But let's just take a look of what's happened on the bonnet here. Aside from the overspray on literally everything, including wiring and intake manifold, we've got this Vortex supercharger here. So we've got the side mount blower. I have no idea about pulleys, about boost that it's running. No idea. Never looked into it. All I done was test drive it down there at TUFF Mounts, and then I drove it home and taken it for a couple of struts out the forest and back, And that's it. It looks like it's got some goodies on it. We've got, looks like what may be some aftermarket front end coilovers or shock something going on here. We've got a trip flow intake manifold, MSD ignition, which would be to retard the timing, I assume, for the MSD distributor in order to take control of the boost situation. Now, anyone that knows 90s Windsors, they're pretty lame. I mean, these things were obviously an impressive motor. They've been around since the 60s, and they ran right through to the early 2000s. But in this era, they were pretty weak. But with that blower on it, that intake manifold, and the 5-speed, no idea on the gearing, she freaking moves. There was potential of turning this into a pretty cool street car, maybe change up the wheels and stuff. But as I said, guys, unfortunately, some things have to make room for others, and in this case, we've got some investments that we need to take care of, and some things have to go. But it sounds pretty loud in here. But yeah, she goes good, drives good, handles like a go-kart, and the next fella's going to have a heap of fun in this thing. So that's going to be a wrap on this video, guys. Thanks for coming back to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Generally, we have a lot more hands-on stuff happening. This is a unique video. So yeah, sorry we didn't get to see more on the Fox body, but I thought I'd better show you all before it leaves me. Also, the XB in the background, we have some plans happening for that. Nothing too extreme. We just want to tidy up some trim, set some ride heights. But until we get to that, it is always still on offer. So if you're interested, drop me an email, mark@theironempire.com.au, and you may be interested in getting your hands on the XB before we go any further. So that's going to be it this time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out the online store. I'll see you on an upcoming video. Cheers, guys.